here visiting with Tana Renick, and she is our 3D Open champion from Pink Buckle 2020. Tana and her mare BB have an incredible backstory. Tana not only ran and rodeoed on the Sire, Pink Buckle stud, Streakin Boondocks, but she also knew the mare very, very well. So Tana, continue on with that backstory. We would love to know more details.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to haul and campaign Streakin Boondocks for about 4 years. Won a lot of pro rodeo money on him, ran a 15-3 at Oklahoma City, which is very respectable. I can't say enough good stuff about him. And then her mother is a full sister to Freckles to Fame's mother. Yeah. So her mother's a daughter of Frenchman's Guy. And when Joe Spitz sent her to me, he didn't really care for her name, and he'll let you name them the barn names. So I had the mare about 6 weeks before I took her through the barrels. And the first time I took her through the barrels, I immediately called Joe and I said, well, I've named your mare. And he said, what is it? And I said, Billy. And he said, Billy? And I said, yep, that's short for Billy Badass. And he said, well, I like it. So when I was hauling the mare, I asked him one day if he wanted an embryo, and he said, well, I would like one, but I wasn't going to ask you since you're running her. Mm-hmm. So it just happened to work out at the breeding place, and all the timing come in. So, we only had to do it one time. So I always thought BB was meant to be. But when I met Joe with his recent mare that was carrying BB, I handed in the lead rope and said, well, here's your badass little Boondocks. So BB had her name before, whether she was a girl or a boy, that horse was going to be called BB, period.
That is such a great backstory. For you as a trainer, you've been in this business a long time. What does that mean to you to be able to ride the second generation of great horses?
It is awesome. BB's actually the first one I've trained that I ran on the mom and the dad, one on the mom and the dad both. And it's different. It is more special. That mare's been special to me since the time Joe started sending me pictures of her. And yeah, I try hard with all of them, but her, I probably put more expectations on her than some of the other colts, because it's like, okay, you have no excuses, but it's awesome. And then I'm currently, my horse for next year is a Streakin Boondocks out of my great mare XV Wild Child, mm-hmm. and which is also the mother to Emma Charleston's PR Designer Wild Child that did so well at the Pink and the Ruby Buckle. And watching those horses go, it's awesome. Even Brittany Diaz Sue Smith has that horse she done so well on out of Rudy, and we were competing at the same time on those mares and the pro rodeos and stuff. And it is so cool. And Cheney Payne, she was competing on Princess, now the baby. So it's almost like all these mares are going again. It's really cool. It's really cool.
And it's so special to see those colts be eligible to run at this kind of prize money. With your rodeo background and your training background, tell us what that is like to be able to come to these events and run at that amount of prize money.
Well, it's awesome. For 5 or 6 years, I was in the top 40, sometimes top 20 of the world. Had a couple bad things, kept me from the finals. But when that horse got hurt, which was XV Wild Child, unless you have a horse at that caliber and that level, mm-hmm. you don't have the opportunity to win that kind of money.
Right.
And I absolutely love it. And I remember when I first went to hauling Boondocks, I was mentioning to Joe, okay, people are asking about breeding. And I remember he said one time, well, I don't care if I breed any mares, but mine, blah, blah, blah. Well, I told him, I said, this horse is so good-minded. It was so good in the alley. I mean, he was 110% business every trip. And, some studs, when you're running them, they'll get kind of mad and quit you. Boondocks never would. If he slipped or had some trouble, he'd just grit it out and just go on. And I feel that in his babies. Mm-hmm. But now it's blown up, and it is amazing, because where can you go? And you hear all the complaints. People complain about paying them in. They complain about, which every once in a while I do too when I have several standing there, not gonna lie. But when you got the opportunity to run it that money, that's fine. What people don't understand, I helped to promote Boondocks for a long time. It is extremely expensive for these stallion owners to have these horses, pay them in all the incentives. And when we started trying to get them in some incentives, some of those people were so dang selective, you couldn't even get in there. And so this is a wonderful thing, you know, but people on the outside, they don't realize how much money these stallion owners spend to put these horses in there where we have the opportunities to win this money. And I think the creators of the Pink Buckle, the Ruby Buckle, everybody, I'm very thankful. The owners, everything. And I mean, this is only getting better, you know. And in the beginning, I remember hearing talk, oh, this won't last, blah, blah, blah. Well, Joe told me about this before it was ever publicly announced. And I thought to myself, wow, the people that I knew that were in behind that, this is going to take the industry by storm. And it has.
And it's
definitely.
It's great stallion owners and great contestants like yourself that, you know, keep making these events what they are. And we so appreciate you guys coming and bringing your best and bringing your game face. Tell us a little bit about you and BB and your future. What are you hoping happens from here?
Well, I don't consider myself a futurity person per se, because I want that next wild child if I could ever get it again. You know, I like to go to the rodeos. I enjoy that. Something about BB that to me is amazing. She's not crazy right now about the indoor pens. She's so scared of making a mistake that she's too safe sometimes, and sometimes that costs us. But I would rather on be trying that hard, and to help me instead of the other way around. But I took her to 4 open rodeos this year, and I never do that with a 4-year-old. And the first one, she won 3rd behind Sire Ward and Kayla Melby, and loved it. Like that mare, she loved it. And the second rodeo I went to, I won 2nd. The 3rd one, I won 1st. That was a 2-run average. She won the average. And then the 4th rodeo, I tipped the barrel to win it by 4/10.
Wow.
So the outdoor, that stuff that normally would scare horses, she like looks at, is so curious and wants to just go up to it and look at it like, wow, what's that? You know, I mean, she's just, I've never had a colt quite like her, that she's just so curious about it, and that outdoor stuff and that atmosphere, she loves it. So I would love to rodeo on her, but you know, the end of the futurity year, Joe's had some serious people interested in her, so I don't know. It'll be what it'll be, right?
Yeah, but either way, she's got a very bright future ahead of her, and we hope to get to see her at more Pink Buckle events in the future. That's what's fun, is once these futurity horses become open horses, the money is just as good. And so many.
Jason Martin was telling me that the Derby now is going to be for 3 years.
Yes.
That's awesome too.
Yes. Yeah, that's something that was just announced for 2021, along with an owner rider side pot and some additional youth money. So yeah, like you said, it's just continuing to get better. And Tana, thank you so much for your time. We are thrilled for you. Congratulations on a great Pink Buckle 2020, and we hope to see you at 2021.
Thank you very much.